Today, right here at Kentucky Lake, right outside of Kentucky Dam Village, and I'm with Coleton Jennings, founder and owner of Jenko Lures. Fishing has changed dramatically in the last 5 years, hasn't it?
With the new advances in technology and the new stuff that we have coming out, it's honestly totally different than whenever, growing up as a kid, just going fishing. First it was, sonar came to 2D went there, 2D, and then down scan, and then side scan, and then spot lock on your trolling motors, and now forward-facing sonar, which is, to me, it changed the game more than anything else has up until this point.
It's amazing. The other day I got a flyer in the mail from a large tackle retailer, and the entire flyer was based on specific baits made for forward-facing sonar.
That's just because that's the hot new thing right now. Basically adapting the techniques for that specific style of fishing is what everybody's doing right now.
It's about where to fish it and fishing it near fish.
Correct.
So today it's, it's the beginning of May. The spawn has already kind of started. It's still, some of that's happening right now. So do you use forward-facing sonar when doing that?
Yeah, so basically what we're looking for is some kind of a pair of spawners or a fish related to something it could spawn on, whether that be a shallow flat, a piece of cover, anything of that nature. They basically are gonna find something that they can spawn on or around, whether that's hard bottom, if it's muddy around a stump or a brush pile or rock, heck, the anchor on this buoy over here, you never know.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Any kind of possible piece of cover is an optimal place for a bass to hang around.
Well, hey, I'm looking forward to learning some stuff today because you're always designing new tackle and new gear, and with forward-facing sonar out there, watching how you utilize it and see if we can't catch a couple off the forward-facing sonar.
We're gonna give it a whirl.
Let's do it. So now, how far out do they say they are?
60 foot-ish, that's where they're at. Let's go look in a different little area. But basically what we're just looking for is just to pull in an area and start seeing fish spawning and fry together where you can actually catch some.
Got him? There you go. Oh! Is that a smallie?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He was sitting there on that piece of cover.
Look there, boy, I'll tell you one thing. Your first cast at that spot and he smacked it.
Yeah. And it's funny, like you go down through there and you see some that just aren't active, and then all of a sudden you throw over there and he just automatically just swims over there and bites.
So you saw that fish on the sonar and just one little cast to it?
Yep.
And he nailed it.
And he was actually sitting a little higher up off the bottom instead of being so glued, absolutely just glued to the bottom, but it's a nice little keeper. But
it's amazing that little bitty bait you're throwing, it's so easy to find it on that electronic.
yeah, biggest thing is having your transducer lined up with the head of your trolling motor.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some fry coming up here, right up here on this stump.
Got it?
Yeah.
Did you see him hit?
Yeah.
There you go, that's a pretty good fish. There you go. So that thing was guarding that nest.
Yep.
And you can see that fry ball up here, and you can see your bait coming down in there, and all of a sudden you see him come up here and look at it a few times, and he turned, and that time he said, nope, I had enough.
Yep, it got a little too close to whatever that little sweet spot was in that ball of fry, because that's almost the thing with most of the time you would just throw, and if it's active, it's gonna look and go on. With the fry, it seems like almost sometimes there's like a sweet spot in that ball of fry where they just really can't stand for you to be there.
And then, bam, they eat it.
Looks like there's something moving around in there. This is just like a little steak mat or something is what this is.
Here we go.
Don't even need live scope. I'm over here not catching nothing.
So I'm just casting, fan casting. You know, a lot of people talk about fishing behind someone with a live scope.
Yeah, that right there proves it.
Well, they think, oh, well, I can't cast the same angle they're casting, but you know what? If there's structure and there's fish out there, you're not seeing every one if they're on the bottom.
And you can't be looking at every one of them at the same time either.
So I just decided, I saw you're fishing 2 or 3 feet off the bottom.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go with a worm and cast this thing. Go ahead and get it on the bottom, a little bit slower presentation. Take your chances. This is how we fished for 100 years before we started fishing with a live scope, right? It still works.
And you caught it behind somebody live scope, and that's
Yep.
the even better part.
Yep. Got it?
Yep.
There you go. Did you see that one?
Yeah. A little one. There was 2 of them fighting over it.
Smalley. Whoa. What do you know?
Quick release. Hopefully we can fish down this stretch and catch some. Keep saying that, but it's got to happen eventually. There's a few swimming around.
Definitely had a bite right there. Got him?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that was through your bait. That's a good brown fish. Pretty fish. Now, did you see that fish on the ground?
Yeah, I could. There's a little school of them on the end of that.
Probably what just hit me too. They're like a nice smallie.
Decent one, for sure.
Beautiful fish. I tell you what, nothing beats that right there.
No.
My favorite fish in the world you got hooked up right there. About a 20-inch smallmouth. What do you got him on? 6 or 8 pound test?
Oh, I got him on the heavier line, but I know how they are. You start forcing them, and then lucky I caught that one.
Well, he threw that bait immediately, didn't he?
Yep, but look at that right there.
Oh, wow.
He's missing half his face, and I just barely got him right there.
Wow.
He's a pretty fish, dark. That's a beautiful smallmouth. Looks like one of them northern smallmouth, as dark as he is.
Marked up. That's a nice fish. There's a bluegill hitting my worm. I'll bet $1,000. There we go. What do we got here? Probably a little aggressive. Oh,
It's a bluegill.
So you just called it.
No, this is not even a
Sunfish.
bluegill. It's yeah.
I thought it was one of those little hyper-aggressive
Smallmouth.
smallies, but he's even smaller than that. I got smallmouth food.
I'm just more impressed that he got it in his mouth and ate it and was hooked in the mouth. A mink. You don't see them very often.
No.
That's pretty cool. What's he got in his mouth?
He's got something he's proud of, and he don't want us to have no part
Yeah,
of
he
it.
don't want us to have it. What do you got in your mouth, dude? Just let me see it. Quit running so fast.
I got something here.
Put it in reverse, Terry. We're chasing a mink and he's got something hooked up.
I think that's a catfish.
That's hilarious.
Oh, looky there. The second I threw that bait on there, I knew that it was about to go to who knows what. We're gonna catch a little bit of everything on one of these.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, though. Bite's a bite. The way I see it, we ain't out here fishing for money. We might as well catch whatever will bite, right?
If I was wanting dinner, there you go, I'd
Yeah.
have it. Nice, dark, beautiful channel catfish.
That's pretty neat there.
There we go. Is it a flathead?
Yeah.
It's a flathead. What do you know?
You better put him in the live well.
A flathead catfish.
2 fish sandwiches. That dude right there will grow up to be big and
That fish one of these days
feed
might
your whole
be
family.
50 pounder.
Yeah. That's pretty though.
What a pretty fish though. Look at those little bitty eyes and
Yep.
and you know what? Come up and hit that thing. I was probably 6 feet off the bottom, vertically making that thing look like it was struggling. They just nailed it. Uh-oh.
He about knocked my rod back in the lake.
Oh, there we go. Well, look at that.
A Tennessee tarpon.
What do you, It is a Tennessee tarpon. I tell you what, those are about $6 a piece for a catfisherman. Well, a skipjack.
And you can catch all of them you want on this lake.
He better watch himself. I know where there's a bunch of catfish.
What you got this time?
Another species,
bluegill.
an actual bluegill, yep. I'll tell you what, if you just want to go fishing, put you a little blade bait on here. You don't know what you're going to catch. You might not catch what you want, but you will catch something.
Well, you're going to get a bite.
Oh, you already got one? What do you got?
Little smallmouth.
Was that the first cast here?
Yeah. Maybe the second.
Tell you what, it's such a subtle presentation. You're throwing it right at fish and cover. It just works, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, they're just post-spawn males.
Well, Coleton, it's been a lot of fun catching up with you today. I've been really watching your product line, and you guys have done some really interesting things with, as technology evolves, your company's evolving.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, we've got a full line of, oh hey, what you got? Another catfish?
I don't know what I got.
A drum.
Well,
You got a different species again. Hey, can you tell these things that we're trying to go home, go eat dinner, and you catching drum? Caught a big old bluegill a minute ago.
I'll tell you one thing.
Catfish.
I have been, you know, a lot of people have to fish behind other people throwing lures on a live scope, and that's what I've been doing today. And you've been watching and throwing at these beds, and you've caught about 10 to 1 bass that I've caught.
But you've had way more fun than I think I have.
But you got to find ways to fish behind people on a live scope, because that live scope can only watch in one location.
That's right.
So, but it's not impossible. I've just done different techniques, but you've caught all the bass. And I know today was, you said, a slow day, and we still caught a bunch of fish.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it's awesome watching what you're doing, and keep up the good work, man. Thank you.
Hey, I've had a great time, man. This has been awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.